Hello everyone. So recently a new pack was released in Master Duel that contained a lot of good cards, some of which are part of an archetype that we can use in Dragunity to add more options to the deck, which allows us to play through Disruption a little bit better and combo a little bit better as well. So the engine I'm talking about is the Horus engine. So in this video I'm gonna discuss the pros and cons of using this engine in Dragunity specifically, and we're gonna see if it's worth playing or not. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, just as a disclaimer, I'm not gonna talk about all the cards in this list. In fact, I'm gonna assume that you already know every single card that you see on the screen right now, like in the deck list. And I'm also gonna assume that you already read the Horus cards as well, so that I don't waste time explaining everything. So that's your disclaimer. Also, I'm only gonna focus on the Horus engine and maybe talk about some other cards that have a specific interaction with the Horus engine. So just so that you understand what this video is gonna be about. Okay. So, but before we start, I would love it if you just subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Hit the like or the dislike button at the end of this video, depending on whether you liked it or not, and leave a comment down below, whether to share your opinion or to share your criticism or to help me out with the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. And consider following me on Twitch at twitch.tv/craftymind4. I stream that like 2 to 3 days a week. Usually like from 6 GMT onwards, like during the night, like European times. So yeah, you can catch me live on Twitch at those times. And you can also join the Discord. Like we have a community Discord where I share all the resources necessary for you to learn Dragunity if you are new to the deck, or to learn more about Dragunity if you are an advanced player as well. So yeah, consider joining the Discord. And also on Discord you will get notified automatically whenever I upload on YouTube and I go live on Twitch, so you don't miss another stream. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the Horus engine. So first of all, let me type in Horus real quick. So yeah, so what is the Horus engine in general? So this is how I'm gonna structure this video. So I'm gonna talk about the general benefits of playing this engine, and then I'm gonna talk about specific benefits that you can use in Dragunity itself. Okay, so what are the general benefits from playing this engine? Well, this engine is primarily made of level 8 monsters that inherently summon themselves from the graveyard if you control King Sarcophagus. And because they inherently summon themselves, that means that they do not activate to summon themselves. It's kind of like Lubellion, so the same way Lubellion works. And because they are non-activated effects, that means they bypass some problematic cards that your opponent might have. Cards like the Kashtira monsters, the Apollosa, the SP Little Knight, etc. So you can use these cards before you even activate a single monster effect, which is very nice because all of the Horus monsters are very big monsters, and that allow you to not only summon them before you activate a monster effect, but also it allows you to go into the battle phase and attack over those problematic monsters and get rid of them before you start your combo. Yes, you will lose your battle phase, but going second, you don't have a choice really. Sometimes you just need to waste your battle phase in order to have a chance to play the game. And the Horus cards are really good at helping you break boards and even bait out interruptions, you know? So yeah, so that's one of the big benefits of playing this engine in any deck, not just Dragunity. And because this engine is made of level 8 monsters, most decks use it to either turbo out rank 8 Xyz monsters. Ours is number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, and other decks can use some other rank 8 Xyz monsters like the zombie vampire or Dingirsu or something else. So yeah, But also, besides the rank 8 XCs, this engine is also used to turbo out link monsters, mainly like IP Masquerena and SP Little Knight. So yeah, but in Dragunity we don't really use it for that purpose. We mostly use it to summon Photon Lord or to use it for something else that I will discuss later. Also, this engine allows the deck to have extra utility, especially through Imsety and Happy, because Imsety allows you to fix your hand because it allows you to like to discard cards and draw an extra card. So it can help you either fix your hand to draw a starter or to draw extra extenders. Okay. Same thing with Happy. Happy it does not allow you to draw, but it allows you to basically recover some of your cards, exactly 2. So it can recover any 2 cards that are banished or in the graveyards on both sides, and you get to choose whether to shuffle them into the deck or add them to your hand. And this works with hand traps as well, so you can just recover some hand traps on your opponent's turn if you decide to play Happy. But you notice that I'm not playing Happy in this list. I will explain that in a little bit. Okay. So yeah, so this engine adds extra utility with Imsety and Happy, and also it allows the deck to have some form of control setup or board breaking strategy to fall back to, especially with King Sarcophagus, Imsety, and Happy, because King Sarcophagus and Imsety have a non-targeted effect, send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. King Sarcophagus specifically sends the monster that your Horus monster is battling at the start of the damage step. So that's very nice, like non-targeted removal is always strong. And Happy can just recover hand traps for you if the condition is met. And all Horus monsters have the same effect, where if one of your cards leave the field by your opponent's card effect, you get to use their effect basically. So yeah. So just to recap the general benefits of using this engine. So 1, they are inherently summoned from the graveyard if you control King Sarcophagus, which bypasses the trigger effects of some of your opponent's monsters or cards in general that would activate in response to a monster effect activation. So which allows you to basically get rid of those problematic monsters like the Kashira monsters, Appaloosa, and SP Little Knight. And because of their big stats, the Horus monsters allow you to just get rid of those problematic monsters by simply attacking into them. And these level 8 monsters are used to turbo out rank 8 XCs monsters and link monsters. And the engine allows for the deck to have extra utility and an extra form of control and board breaking strategy, especially going second. So that's the general benefits of the Horus engine. And now I'm going to talk about the specific benefits in Dragunity itself. So the first benefit of the Horus engine in Dragunity is the fact that the Horus monsters are all level 8 monsters. Now why is that important? Well, because Dragunity uses level 2 tuners to make their plays. And when you put level 8 monster and level 2 tuner, what you get is Baron de Fleur. So basically, the Horus engine is another way to go into Baron de Fleur early if we decide to. And the cool thing about this is that this allows us to go into Baron without wasting our Axel Synchro. Because before, our only real way to go into Baron was to use Gamma. So if we gammed a hand trap, we can go into Baron easily through Axel Synchro, right? And sometimes we just get impermed or veilered on Axel Synchro, so sometimes we don't even get to summon Baron as well. In very rare cases, sometimes we have the opportunity to summon Lubellion early, and then we can like normal summon a level 2 tuner and go into Baron, but that's very rare, okay? However, now with the Horus engine, that's more likely to happen because our synchro strategy require level 2 tuners, and because Dragunity does not care about its normal summon, generally speaking, we can use that normal summon on a level 2 tuner so that we can synchro summon into Baron de Fleur using any of the Horus monsters, which is really cool. So we get to summon Baron very early on without getting rid of our Axel synchro, basically. So that's one benefit that is specific to Dragunity, basically, or any synchro deck that utilizes level 2 tuners. Also, another thing that is really cool about the Horus engine and Dragunity specifically is that even if we don't, how do I say this? Even if we don't use the Horus monsters to special summon themselves from the graveyard, because maybe we don't have access to King's Sarcophagus, or maybe we lost access to it, we still can use the Horus monsters to some degree, even without the King's Sarcophagus. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, the Horus monsters have a unique effect on the field that is independent of whether or not you have like King's Sarcophagus on the field. Okay, so for example, the non-targeted removal effect of Imsety works regardless of whether or not King's Sarcophagus is on the field or not. Now, why is that important? Well, because, and now I'm gonna talk about each card specifically, Imsety, for example, is a dark monster. And that means that we can banish it for our bestial summon. And now that we banished the Imsety, we can later access it by using Dispatter. So we can revive it using Dispatter. And that's very good because even if we don't have access to the King's Sarcophagus, even if we just, for example, discarded Imsety with a Ravine, we can still make use of the Imsety because it's a dark monster. So we can banish it for our bestial to later summon it back with Dispatter as part of our endboard. And because the unique effect of Imsety does not require King's Sarcophagus on the field, now we have a non-targeted removal that we can use on our opponent's turn if they decide to get rid of one of our cards, basically, while this card is on the field. So we can still make use of Imsety even if we don't use it to Xyz summon or to do something else, right? So that's one benefit from having the Horus engine. Another benefit is the fact that Cabesnuef is a winged beast. And because it's a winged beast, we can actually make use of it as part of the combo. So instead of just going into the Photon Lord, we can decide to just use the Cabesnuef alone as a winged beast material that we can use to go into Romulus, for example, right? So in which case, Cabesnuef can replace Zephyros as part of the combo, because some hands that we produce with this deck list does allow us to just use Cabesnuef instead of Zephyros. And if we can access Zephyros later, that will make Zephyros available for any other thing that we want to do with it. So we can just use its cost to bounce back a card that got negated, for example, so that we can use it again, either the same turn or the follow-up turn. We can use Zephyros later in the combo as a level 4 body that we can use to go into Lewin, especially when we don't have access to Seifert sometimes. So we have used for Zephyros in other ways, especially with the Synchro Rumble. We can just summon Zephyros by its own effect and then use Synchro Rumble to summon back Lewin, and then Lewin plus Zephyros can get us into Arid Bear, for example, right? Or Ascalon if we like go in second or something. So yeah, so Cabesnuef being a winged beast can be used without really using it to go into Photon Lord. And that's the first thing I want to discuss here is just because we're playing the Horus engine doesn't mean that you need to use it to go into the Xyz monster, because the engine is much more flexible than that. Like I explained, you can use the Imsety like for your bestials and for your Dispatter and use it as part of your endboard, and you can use Cabesnuef as winged beast body that you can use to go into Romulus, especially with the Horus engine, like making you discard a lot. Sometimes you will find yourself without any cards in hand, or maybe one card in hand, and you just summon Guidurg. your opponent might be tempted to negate Guider because you don't have enough cards in your hand to extend, so they might make the mistake to negate Guider that way, not realizing that you can simply summon back the Kabesnewef from the graveyard and just continue comboing like that, because most people who use the Horus engine do not care about the specific traits of the Horus engine, they only care about the effect, while as in Dragunity, we actually care about the opposite. Like, we care about the traits of the card more than the effect. We don't really care about the effect of the cards because the traits of the cards are more important for us. Imsety being dark is really important, and Kabesnewef being a winged beast is also really important for us. So here I'm gonna take the opportunity to talk about Happy. So Happy is a wind monster, so technically we can use it with Tempest, both as discard fodder to search Remus or to banish it from the graveyard to summon Tempest. However, the reason why I'm not playing Happy is because, one, I want to keep the deck list as small as possible, so that's why I did not play Happy and I only played Kabesnewef, so that's the only engine I need, like Imsety and Kabesnewef are all we need. But also because we already play a lot of one-offs in the deck, and to prevent some breaking with the deck, I just decided to cut Imsety. However, I would advise you to play Imsety if you're going for a big build, like 50 card plus, especially if you're playing a small ward package. Because if you play small ward, all the Horus monsters can lead to Remus through Lubellion. So you can just reveal any Horus monster in your hand, bridge through Lubellion, which gets you Remus, okay? And you can bridge like with any wind monster through Happy as well into Remus. So there is that as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Horus engine. So just to recap the specific benefits of the Horus engine in Dragunity specifically. So they are the Horus monsters are all level 8, which means that if we use a level 2 tuner, we can go into Baron the Fleur early without wasting our Access Synchro. The Horus monsters, specifically Imsety, is still useful even without a King Sarcophagus on the field, because we can summon back the Imsety with Dispatter as part of our endboard, and we have now a non-targeted removal that is conditional because your opponent still has to get rid of one of your cards. Imsety being a dark allows it to be used for summoning Bestials and with Dispatter as well. Kabesnewef being a winged beast allows us to save Zephyros from being used during the combo and use it somewhere else if we need to, and just use Kabesnewef as material to link into Romulus. And also Kabesnewef being a winged beast is a banish fodder for Armagram to summon it from the graveyard or the hand. And Happy, if we decide to play it, is a wind monster that can be used alongside Tempest and can offer some recovery and recursion in the grind game if we go into that game state, basically. So yeah, so those are the specific benefits of the Horus engine in Dragunity. So now let's see some combos that we can do with the Horus engine. So the first combo I want to showcase is when you draw both Remus and Imsety. So you have many ways of playing this hand. Like, you can just ignore the fact that you can go into Photon Lord and just play the combo regularly, or you can try to go into Photon Lord and play the combo that way as well. There are many ways. So let's see like a very standard way to play this hand. So basically what you can do is start off with Imsety to get King Sarcophagus and see what card you draw into. So here we drew into Ringo Worm, which is really good. So you wanna send Ringo Worm like with Ravine, so that's very good. So here we have options. So what we can do is either activate King Sarcophagus, discard one card to send Kabesnewef to the graveyard and just go into Photon Lord that way, or we can just play out our hand like normal and then banish the Kabesnewef with the Saronir in the combo. And now that Kabesnewef is banished, we can summon it back with this Dispetter later on as part of our endboard. Okay, so we have many ways of doing that. So here I'm just gonna focus on the way that you probably want to see me play this hand, which is to summon the Photon Lord. So that's what we're gonna do. So here what we can do is activate King Sarcophagus, and we're gonna discard one of our cards in hand. In this particular hand, I'm just gonna discard, I think, if my opponent had like a response window, I will discard the Apple Dragon. If not, I will discard the Ash. Usually, the best discard here is the Ash, because you still wanna keep an extender in your hand to play through Imperm or Veiler. Although in this particular hand we also have Magnamut as well that we can use to banish the Imsety as an extender. So in this case I'm just gonna discard the Ringleworm, which is the safest option, and we're gonna send the Kabesnewef. So now that we have both Horus monsters in the graveyard, and because we control the King Sarcophagus, we can just summon them both and go into Photon Lord. So at this point, if your opponent did not max you, you're safe to discard the Ash. So that's what we're gonna do here. And we're gonna get the Legatus. We're gonna activate Legatus here. Get the Remus. And go into Guidorg. So we're gonna search Zephyros here. Activate the Zephyros to summon itself, and then go into Romulus. So this hand is a little bit weird because we drew into the Magnamut, which is not that great, because we're gonna need to discard this Magnamut if we wanted to do the combo like regularly. So here we're just gonna continue the combo as usual. Dump the Samsara. Go into a Tome. And detach the Guidorg and summon Redim D. Get back the Guidorg and dump the Pharax. So here, usually what you can do is, because we summoned the Photon Lord here, it's very important to be sure what you want to summon. Otherwise, you're gonna clog up your monster zones. Because if you search Gizarmi here as usual to go into Guidorg, to go into Crystal Wing, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have Crystal Wing plus the Photon Lord plus the Redim D in these monster zones, and you're only gonna have 2 monster zones left to play with, and that's very bad, because once you use Samsara to get back the Mistletoe, you're gonna tribute summon the Mistletoe over the seal, and this seal is gonna summon another dragon. So now these 2 open spots are gonna be occupied by 1 Mistletoe and what the monster that you're gonna summon with seal, and all your 5 monsters are gonna be used, and you're gonna get stuck there. Okay, so it's very important that if you want to go into Crystal Wing, you know what to do. So here, usually, what you would do is activate Ravine, discard the last card in hand, and send the Ringo Worm to the graveyard, right? So, and because we already accessed Ringo Worm, so we're just gonna use it right now. And we're going to go into Crystal Wing. Then, what we're gonna do here, because of this particular combo, because we used the Galaxy Eyes, is we're gonna use the Crystal Wing plus the Atom to go into Seal. I know it sounds crazy. I know that summoning Crystal Wing only to use it as link material to go into Seal is a little bit weird, right? But it's all gonna make sense in a little bit, okay? So, now we're just gonna use Samsara Dragon, get the Mistletoe, and we're gonna attribute the Mistletoe over the Seal. We're gonna use both effects to equip the Phalanx. And here what you're gonna realize why summoning Crystal Wing and keep the Crystal Wing on the field is a bad idea. Because as you can see, we need the space, like we need the monster zones to basically have Seifert plus Phalanx plus Mistletoe plus the Red MD on the field plus whatever extra monster we have. Because usually you notice that in the regular combo before, this Photon Lord is usually the Crystal Wing, right? So usually we have a Crystal Wing here plus all of this. But because we went into the Photon Lord, if we go into Crystal Wing also, we would only have space to summon Mistletoe plus Seifert or plus whatever else you want to do, and you're not gonna be able to summon back the Phalanx from the monster from the spell and trap zone into the monster zone. So because your monster zones are gonna be clogged up. So that's why it's important to know what you want to do with the combo. And that's one way to do it. Like you access Ringo Worm, you go into Crystal Wing, and then you use the Crystal Wing plus the Atom to go into Seal to make up space. And don't worry, we're still gonna get back the Crystal Wing from the graveyard back to the field with Synchro Rumble. Okay, so here we just continue the combo. Send the Mistletoe, get the Saronir, go into Lewin. Equip the Phalanx. Okay, so now you summon Saronir by banishing either like Zephyros or Atom, it doesn't matter. So we're just gonna banish Atom so that if we decide to destroy something with this pattern, we can just put back the Atom in the extra deck. And now we can go into Crimson Dragon. So this is very standard. No, we don't want to use Lewin. We send the Lubellion and we get the Synchro Rumble. So here, usually during your combo, like at the end of the combo, usually you use Synchro Rumble to summon back a tuner. But in this particular case, we're going to use Synchro Rumble to summon back the Crystal Wing from the graveyard in defense position, because Synchro Rumble not only can summon back a tuner, but it can also summon back any level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro monster. So that's very important to know. And that's what we're gonna use. So here we're just gonna activate Safer to get back the Lubellion that we sent to the graveyard. And here usually Lubellion will search Magnamut, but because we opened Magnamut, we're just gonna search the Druus Worm. And before you summon your Bestial, make sure you summon your Lubellion and set up Regained. So we have Regained now, and now we can go into our Dispatter. And you notice we still did not use the effect of Crimson Dragon to summon another Synchro monster, and that's on purpose. So now we're gonna summon the Magnamut by banishing the Seal. so that we can recycle the seal. And then you have options whether or not you want to end on seal or not. Make sure you activate Magna Mode. So yeah. So here, what we can do is activate this pattern and get back the Ring of War and go into Savage. Or what we could have done is just like summon back the Samsara Dragon that is banished, and then use Crimson Dragon on this pattern to summon like Arid Bear, for example, and then use the seal, use the Samsara plus this pattern to go into seal and finish that way. But yeah, so we have options, like we can end on whatever end board we want, but this is one way to do it. So once we summon the Boral Savage, what we can do is activate Crimson Dragon, targeting the Savage because it's a level 8, and we can summon our Axel Synchro. If you play the Quick Synchro package, summon a level 2 tuner, and now we can simply just activate Ring of War, activate Synchro Rumble to get back our Crystal Wing, and just like that, we have Savage plus Axel Synchro plus this pattern plus Savage plus Photon Lord plus Regained plus 3 cards in hand, and in the end phase we're gonna use the Magnamut effect. So here, because we drew into Cold Buy, we're gonna set Cold Buy, and at the end phase we're just gonna activate Magnamut's effect. Here usually you would add the Drew Swarm, but because we opened Magnamut and the combo played out that way, we can search another thing like follow up for next turn, or we can just like add back Saronir, for example, if you expect that you're gonna play against Dark and Light decks. Maybe like you're gonna play against Tearlament, for example. Now you have 2 Bestials in hand to deal with them. So this is the end board, and here we can like do the same play, like negate with Savage and then tag out for Baron, etc. So you know the drill. So this is one way to play the combo. So it's not really intuitive to summon Crystal Wing and then link it off into Seal. I know that's not really intuitive, and it's not that easy to see, but this is one way you can play the combo if you want to go into an early Photon Lord. However, with the Horus engine, you don't always want to go into Photon Lord because sometimes your hand is better than that. You can play your hand in better ways. So in the next combo, I'm gonna try to showcase something else, like another way to play the combo with the Horus engine. So in this next combo, I'm gonna showcase what you can do with the Imsety specifically when you don't really you don't really need to go into like the full Horus package, or you don't have access to King Sarcophagus, or maybe you don't want to go into the Photon Lord, the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Okay, so I know that this hand looks crazy and it's really good, but just ignore the hand. Just focus on the fact that we just have Imsety in the hand and a combo starter. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to play this hand as like standard as possible, like without taking into account the actual cards in the hand, just to showcase for you guys what you can do with Imsety even without accessing gold sarcophagus. Okay, so what we can do here is we have options here. We can use the Imsety effect itself, discarding 1 card and try to see if we draw into like better cards, or we can discard it with Ravine. So let's just use its effect. Why not? Because its effect is basically neutral. So we lose 2 cards to draw 2 cards. We drew into the glow, which is okay, like it's not that bad. Anyway, so let's ignore this King Sarcophagus for now. So we're not gonna focus on that because we drew the Remus. We're just gonna start our combo like this, and we're going to get Legatus. So in this hand we got the Legatus, but let's pretend that we did not get the Legatus here. Okay, so let's just discard the Legatus and get a Legatus. Okay, so what we can do here is activate Remus, summon Remus and go into Guidorg. Ignore this glow in hand and ignore this ravine because we started with ravine, okay? So here we can activate Guidorg and we might get impermed on Guidorg, which is okay because if we get imperm on Guidorg here, we have the King Sarcophagus that we search with Imsety to just send the Kabesnewef to the graveyard and then special summon the Kabesnewef. And because it's a winged beast, we can go into Romulus and continue our combo like that. So we are already protected from Imperm and Veiler. So in this case, we're gonna get the Zephyros. Again, ignore the Ravine and Glow in hand. We're gonna activate Zephyros, get back the Ravine, and we're going into the combo this way. I know that this hand plays around Nibiru because we could have technically summoned Crystal Wing on 5, but I'm just gonna showcase the regular combo without taking into consideration all the cards in my hand, okay? So just to keep it clear. Okay, so now we have Glow. We get the Mistletoe. And we summon Mistletoe, equipping the Guidorg. Activate Glow. So this is a standard, very standard combo. So this is gonna be very standard until like the end of the combo. So we can send Samsara here. Go into Atom. Detach the Guidorg. Summon the Red MD. And now we summon the Guidorg and access Phalanx. Now we can activate the Ravine that we bounced back with Zephyros. Discard one card to get Gizarme. And on normal summon, we summon back the Phalanx and go into Crystal Wing this way. And now we go into Seal. So you noticed earlier we had Photon Lord plus Red MD plus Seal. Now we have Crystal Wing plus Red MD plus Seal. That's why I said Photon Lord usually is Crystal Wing in the regular combo. And that's why summoning an extra body on the field at that point in time is gonna mess up the combo because we're not gonna have enough space. So now we continue the combo as usual. Get back the Mistletoe and tribute summon over the Seal. Sorry, by the way, if I'm playing the combos a little bit slow, like I'm not really the fastest clicker out there. So if you're a fast clicker, you have an advantage. You will have a better time than me with the combos. So yeah, so here is very standard stuff, like send Mistletoe, get Saronir. And yeah, until now you might be thinking, okay, so what does Imsety has to do with this combo so far? Because this combo has been standard so far, which is true. Like this combo has been standard, but you will see right now why Imsety can be good in this combo. So basically now we have an Imsety in the graveyard. Okay, we do not have King's Sarcophagus on the field or whatever. So what we can do at this point of the combo is when we activate Saronir, we can banish the Imsety. And then we continue the combo like usual. And in a little bit, we're gonna summon back the Imsety. So here we're gonna activate Crimson Dragon and then activate Saronir. No, we don't wanna use Lewin. We can activate Crimson Dragon again, why not? To tag out for Savage Dragon. because we started with Lubellion earlier, I'm just gonna send Lubellion. I'm just gonna ignore the Lubellion that we started with. Again, I want to keep the combo as like standard and raw as possible. So ignore the Lubellion that we started with. So yeah. So at this point of the combo, we can just use Safer to get back the Lubellion. And then we can activate Lubellion to search for Magnamut. And before you summon Magnamut, make sure to summon the Lubellion to place Regained on the field. Now we can go into this pattern. I like to summon my Dispatter in the extra monster zone because whatever happened to this Dispatter, I'm just either gonna link it off for Seal or link it off for another Synchro monster, which is Crimson Dragon. And Crimson Dragon in the extra monster zone is okay because we can tag out on the opponent's turn anyway into another extra deck monster that can be summoned in the AMZ anyway, which frees up the monster zone to basically finish the combo more clearly. So now we can simply just activate Magnamut, banish the Seal so that we can recycle it with Regained. And we're gonna draw a card here. Oh, we drew into Beast, okay. So yeah, so at this point, what do we have? We have Savage, Crystal Wing, Regained on the field, Magnamut, and Dispatter that is ready to be used. So like I said, here Dispatter is gonna summon back the Imsety, which means we can use our Synchro Rumble to summon a level 2 tuner and continue the combo. And here you have a choice to make. You can either summon back Imsety or summon back like a dragon to go into Seal. So you have options. You can end on so besides the Savage, the Crystal Wing, and Regained, you can end on either Seal plus what's it called? Axel Synchro. You can end on Seal plus Crimson Dragon. You can end on Seal plus Arid Bear. Like you have options here. So, but because we banished the Imsety and I wanted to showcase how you can basically add Imsety as part of your endboard, that's what we're gonna do. So what we're going to do here is simply activate Dispatter, summon back the Imsety. So now Imsety is on the field, and with Synchro Rumble we can simply either like summon Lewin to go into Crimson Dragon again, but there is no point in going in Crimson Dragon again unless you do not intend to summon Axel Synchro, but you wanna summon for example, Arid Bear on their turn. So if you want to summon Arid Bear on their turn, then yeah, sure, go summon back Lewin, and Lewin plus Magnamut can go into Crimson Dragon. However, I think the better option here is to just summon a level 2 tuner here and go into Axel Synchro. If you play the quick Synchro setup, of course. And just like that, we have the quick Synchro. We can set the Beast since we drew it. You can activate the King Sarcophagus now if you want. Okay, and the reason why I kept this King Sarcophagus until now is because I wanted to see what cards I drew into with Regained, just in case like I had extra cards in hand that I want to set on this in the Spell and Trap zones first. Like I don't know, like maybe Called by the Grave plus Beast, or double Called by the Grave, or Called by the Grave plus like what's it called, Crossout, etc. So now that we now that we know what's our endboard is looking like, we can activate King Sarcophagus to have an extra disruption on top of that, because now Imsety alone is a disruption if they send any of our cards to the graveyard, and King Sarcophagus can send a card, send the monster that battles our Horus monster to the graveyard without targeting it, so that's extra disruption as well. So now that we end our turn, Magnamut is gonna activate and we get Drew a Swarm. So That's the full combo. So notice that in this particular combo, we used our normal summon to get the Crystal Wing, while the other combo I showed earlier did not use the normal summon. So that's the difference. So if you go into the Photon Lord line and you go with that combo, you can make the full combo without normal summoning. Of course, that endboard is not as good as this one, but this one has like the extra disruption basically. So yeah, so that's what you can do with just a regular combo plus an Imsety that you send to the graveyard somehow. Okay, so this Imsety is good alone, like you don't need the King Sarcophagus, because you could have just discarded this with a Ravine or something, right? So yeah, so again, let me show you like the opening hand for this one, and you can rewatch the video as well. So yeah, that was like the Horus combos that I wanted to showcase, like two specific combos, like one that utilizes Photon Lord as an early way to protect ourselves from Nibiru, and also another way that you can play with the Horus engine without really going into Photon Lord. And there are many other ways that it would take like hours just to showcase all the combos, like all the possible combos. So you're gonna have to play with the deck and figure it out yourself. But hopefully those two combos will give you an idea about how you can utilize the Horus engine in your deck. And just keep in mind that you don't really need to always use the Horus engine as just rank up engine basically to go into the rank 8. You can just utilize it in many other ways, like I said. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video was very helpful for you. I hope that you found it educational, and yeah, maybe you learned a new thing like about the Horus engine and maybe Dragunity as well. So if you did, like if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe. It will help me out a lot. Like I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate any support I could get. And make sure to check out the links in the description down below so that you can follow me on Twitch and join the Discord to get access to all the resources necessary to learn Dragunity and get better at it, and also to get notified automatically on Discord whenever I upload on YouTube and whenever I go live on Twitch. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for using your time to watch this video, because I know it's a long video. And have a nice day and take care of yourselves, guys. See you later. Peace.